Number 16, the spread of a disease through a community is modeled by dy dt equals 0.002y times the quantity 600 minus y, where y is the number of people infected after t days. At time t equals 0, 10% of the community is infected. Find a formula for y. So I notice that this is a logistic growth formula, and I'm just going to write that we know that dy dt, according to our logistic formula, is ky times L minus y. And if you recall, k is just that number in front of the y, and then L is our carrying capacity. Okay, so if we want to find a formula for y, we also learn that y is equal to L over 1 plus c e to the negative KL t. So that's our formula. So mostly we just need to plug some stuff into our formula and see how we do. So we're going to have y equals, we know L is 600 just from looking at the differential equation, over 1 plus c e to the negative. If you multiply k and L together, you will get 1.2 and then t. And now we want to find c, so we are going to use at time t equals 0, 10% of the community is infected. Well, we know that the people in the community, that the carrying capacity would be 600, so 10% of that would be 60 people. So we will have 60 equals 600 over 1 plus ce to the negative 1.2t. I'm going to cross multiply. So get 60 times the quantity, 1 plus c e to the negative 1.2t is equal to 600. If I divide both sides by 60, I will end up getting, oh, and this was at time 0. So time 0 times 0. So that pretty much is just going to be 1 plus c. So then if I divide both sides by 60, I will get 10. So I'll have 1 plus c is equal to 10, which means c is equal to 9. So my formula for y would be y equals 600 over 1 plus 9 e to the negative 1.2t. All right, and then for part B, it says how many people are infected when the disease is spreading the fastest. Well, we have found out previously that the disease is spreading the fastest when half of the carrying capacity has heard or has been infected. So half the carrying capacity would be 300. Okay, and then C, at what time t is the disease spreading the fastest? So we want to find out what time is it that 300 people have been infected. So we're going to put 300 equals 600 over 1 plus 9 e to the negative 1.2 t. We're solving for t. I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to get 300 equal 300 times the quantity 1 plus 9 e to the negative 1.2 t is equal to 600. I'm going to divide both sides by 300 and get 2. So I'll have 1 plus 9 e to the negative 1.2 t equals 2. And then I'm going to subtract 1. So I'll have 9 e to the negative 1.2 t equals 1. I'll then divide both sides by 9. So now I'll have e to the negative 1.2 t is equal to 1/9. And then to get rid of e, we'll take the L on both sides, at which point this can drop out front. So I'm going to get negative 1.2 t is equal to the natural log of 1/9. And then I'll just divide both sides by negative 1.2. And when I do that, I'll get t equals 1.83. And it looks like things are being measured in days. So after 1.83 days, so not even 2 days, half of the people in the community are infected. And I definitely did make this problem up because I think I'd move away from any community where in 2 days, everyone, almost half the population has been infected with this disease. That would not be a good thing. All right, number 17, use Euler's method with increments of delta x equals negative 0.1 to approximate the value of y when x equals 1.7. So we have dy dx is equal to x minus 2y and y equals 1 when x equals 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get my chart set up. Okay, we already know that when x equals 2, y equals 1, and we're going increments negative 0.1, so I'll do 1.9, 1.8, 1.7, and that's what they asked me for, so that's where I'll stop. And then if you recall, we're going to have y prime is equal to delta y over delta x. My derivative, this is my y prime. I'll just plug in my x and my y value, so that will equal 2 minus 2 times 1, and that will give me 0. So I'll get 0 equals delta y over negative 0.1. And 0 times negative 0.1 is just 0. So delta y did not change. So we're not going to add anything, so it's still 1. Okay, so step 2, we'll still have y prime equals delta y over delta x. My y prime is going to be, this time, it's going to be 1.9 minus 2 times 1 equals delta y over negative 0.1. 1.9 minus 2 times 1 is going to be negative 0.1 equals delta x over negative 0.1. If I cross multiply, I'll get delta x is equal to 0.01. So now I'm going to add 0.01 to the 1, so I'll get 1.01 for the next value. And then let's go one more time. Okay, y prime will be 1.8 minus 2 times 1.01 is equal to delta y over negative 0.1. If I calculate that out, that will be negative 0.22 is equal to delta y over negative 0.1. And so if I cross multiply, I'm going to get delta y is equal to 0.022. So I'm going to add 0.022 to the 1.01. And when I do that, I'll get 1.032. So that will be my y value when x equals 7.